Funny to think about, right? With GameStop, it is a place where you used to go to trade in a video game or simply buy video games. But GameStop just had its biggest payout in its history, and it was about something that's not video game related. Welcome to 2025 and welcome to XFeed. My name is The Schiller. Every single day we go live talking about some of the craziest stuff happening in collectibles news. If you're wanting some short form content, again, we do that. It's going to be on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, all that. Would love for you to check it out, but let's get into the news story that has been taking over the timeline the past couple of days. Someone traded in a PSA 10 holo Gengar Pokemon card to GameStop earlier today and was paid $30,494. The most valuable single trade in GameStop history. And it wasn't a video game. So I thought, okay, let's go look. And I've used price charting before and I got cooked in the comments. So let's just work with it for a second. So $30,000 was what the Gengar PSA 10 was sent in for. Move that. There we go. So you can see it here. For the PSA 10, it's saying that the average price is $24,000. Okay? Now, I don't know if this site is changing to Canadian. I don't know if it's US. Either way, okay. And then look at the drop-off, though. If you get a 9.5 from having a 0.5 difference, you basically lose $20,000. Like, that's crazy to me, but the ungraded variant of the card, just about $1,000, but wow, what an unbelievable time. If you are paying attention to video games, cards, collectibles in general, fact that GameStop, of all places, now pivoting to the one and only collectibles. So on stream, not too long ago, we highlighted this Topps Chrome SpongeBob card. And you remember the scene when he's like, I need it, when he's in Sandy's dome and there's no water and then he's a spot. You get the idea. So I thought, let's try to actually do a little bit of research and find out what else is out there. And look at this. The Goofy Goobers Ice Cream Party Boat one-of-one SpongeBob card. When we talk about nostalgia, I am absolutely floored anytime somebody tells me I haven't watched SpongeBob or anything like that, because it was such a staple for myself growing up and seeing these one-of-one cards. Maybe you're not into sports, maybe you're not into Pokemon cards, One Piece, or some of these other things that have come out, but I think anybody that likes SpongeBob would absolutely want that card. So the 2025 release, dive into 25 years of Chrome fun. We have SpongeBob SquarePants, Patrick Star, Sandy Cheeks, Plankton, literally all of the different players within here. So let's read what the release is all about. And again, this came out a little bit ago, but still kind of cool to reflect on. For the first time since 2009, Topps and SpongeBob reunite to celebrate 25 years of everyone's favorite little square dude with 2025 Topps Chrome SpongeBob SquarePants 25th anniversary. Build the complete 200 card base set packed with beloved characters, iconic locations, and unforgettable moments from SpongeBob's 25-year legacy. Collect a variety of colorful themed inserts that capture the humor and spirit of the show while chasing exclusive parallels designed to shine in every collection. And for the ultimate treasure, keep an eye for rare sketch cards and autographs from the voices behind Bikini Bottom's most memorable characters. So we've seen the one-of-ones before. They even have sketch cards. So we've talked about Vibes TCG with the Pudgy Penguins IP, and you can see over on the side here, SpongeBob has its own sketch cards, and I feel like Vibes should totally highlight the fact that that's there because this is a cool reference. Shadow boxes, they have Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, Bikini Bottom VIP, Squidward's Gallery, base set, Night Shift Manager variant. What's the fastest way to become a card expert on all of this? When you go through every single set, whether it's an IP, whether it's a league, not only do you have like the different brands that are producing the cards, they have individual components of each of them. It's like, ever play like a video game that's got like a crazy stat tree line? It feels very, very similar to that. But look at this. The Sandy Cheeks one-of-one card listed right there. the 1 of 1. I still would take the Goofy Goober ice cream over that, for sure. Just sold the 2025 Topps Chrome SpongeBob Triple Auto Super Fractor 1 of 1. Features signatures from the actual voice actors who played SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward. $21,500. We've continuously highlighted very notable names across, I don't know, I guess media would be the right terminology, that have gotten into collectibles in a big way. And we just continue to see these massive, massive sales. Now, this was back on October 6th, but there's a little bit of insight on what's going on with SpongeBob. Now, this was another one that I saw across the timeline that was the 2024 Topps Shohei Ohtani's that are like a full set of the rainbow. So I was like, okay, obviously you can look at all of these and say there's single variants of each of these, right? Like you go through and you can tell some of them are a little bit more shiny, some of them are not. Same image for the majority of it, but then I was like, okay, let's figure out the goods here. So, in the collecting card space, a rainbow refers to collecting all the different parallel versions of the same card, which again, we go back to that one, you can see the batting swing where it's just standing there, the one that's the swing, then the one where the hit has already happened. So card companies like Topps produce a base card design, then create multiple variations of the exact same card with different colored borders, finishes, or special features. Each parallel is typically produced in different quantities, making some much rarer than others. Obviously, for a 2024 Topps Shohei Ohtani card, a rainbow might include the base card, the refractor parallels and various covers, and then the numbering of stuff, which is something that I realized is like when you're flipping through the cards, each set, each IP does something different. Where like in Pokemon, as an example, you'll see on like the bottom left, there's some that are like gold stars, there's some that are just singular stars that don't have any color with them. You'll see ones that have these colored borders that you're talking about, and then you'll obviously have ones where they're numbered and gives you kind of like an instant, oh, okay, that's how many there are, which I do really like when they're just straight up the number and you don't need to learn anything special for it. Collectors who chase the rainbow try to acquire every single parallel variation of that specific card. It's considered a prestigious and challenging collecting goal, especially for popular players like Ohtani, because some of them are extremely rare. But again, I've seen these variants in like the Pokemon world where they have the different rainbow set. Like I feel that one wasn't multiples of the same. It was like its own individual kind of release. I'm going to get better at the names. Listen, we're going through it all and we're learning at the same time. And so let's go over to NFL for a second. 1981. What did the cards look like from back in 1981? When you look at the filter of your life, or if you're uploading a photo to Instagram, or just trying to edit a photo, have you ever messed around with the filters? Do you think this sort of filter, the 1981 cardboard texture filter, that's the one that's going to go viral for sure. So I want to move now to one of the funniest threads that I've happened to find on the timeline, and it is about autographs that are just awful. So this one's Moses Brown. And I remember having his NBA Top Shot moment forever ago. And the signature, it doesn't even look like it's filling in the space to begin with. But we have the M. If I'm going to write a B, like follow with your mouse. Like if you're on a computer right now, follow with your mouse as if you're trying to do MB. And then I have no idea. We got Marvin Harris Jr. with a little bit of a squiggle. People always make fun of like doctors and pharmacists of having some wonky signatures. Why don't we bring that up with athletes now? Riley Leonard. I'm going to do an R. I feel like that looks more like an F, but I guess so. Yeah, not the greatest. Continuing on here. JS. No cursive writing, no nothing, just simply two letters, nothing. Nothing can go wrong on that front. And then George Pickens. Yeah, I don't know if I would classify that as a G at all. I don't know if I would classify that as a P. Because what the hell is the dot there? But there's some of your most ridiculous looking card signatures out there. Per Elliot Friedman on 32 Thoughts with Elliot Friedman, who is a big NHL analyst. The Dallas Stars 99 jersey launch day on Friday was the best-selling one-day jersey day in NHL history. League history, not franchise history. So let's ponder this for just a second, if you will. Think about in the English Premier League, and I think some other teams do change it up as well. Major League Soccer, I feel, does that, but that's normally when their jersey sponsorship. Anyway, point being is that we've seen some leagues where every single year the jerseys change. And generally speaking, for NBA, NHL, that's not really the case. We've seen where NBA's implemented the on-jersey sponsor, which is a little bit different. But for the NHL, well, every single year it's sort of the same. So interesting to see at the first time that they launch kind of a retro jersey that it becomes that high in demand. That just seems completely bonkers to me, which let's look back from the collectibles perspective. Have you ever bought a jersey with the intention of keeping it as a collectible and or flipping it down the road? I don't think I ever have, but if you look at the top 5 sports memorabilia pieces in history, 2 of them are somebody's game-worn jersey. Just saying, maybe the jersey world comes back, but also at the same time that it's a little bit tough when it's the exact same jersey every single year all the time. But for that one, this breaks the previous regular season record by 24% and the playoffs record by 10%. So pretty substantial increase if you're looking at it overall. So I saw this for Stranger Things. I know I've been talking about Stranger Things a lot. Again, great new season. But the Stranger Things X Gatorade glass bottle will be included within the 1987 Hawkins capsule dropping on December 4th. So we got the filter of the NFL cards from back in the day, and now we even have the Gatorade from back then that is now accompanying Gatorade X Stranger Things. Every single brand is wanting to partner together, and it's super, super cool. In terms of being consumers in this day and age, I feel it's very exciting. You know what I mean? What are the odds that we see this? And I obviously wasn't born back, or I shouldn't say obviously, I don't know how old you guys think I am. But going back to the Gatorade bottles is I feel like I've seen those sort of in videos or film before, and obviously within Stranger Things, and I don't know how the hell I would be able to access that. Well, now that I can through the new collaboration. And continuing with the SpongeBob theme from earlier in the collaborations, Burger King and SpongeBob. Mr. Krabs cheesy bacon tots for $1.99. Is that what you're going to have for dinner? That is the question. And then final thing that I want to leave you with, the Pudgy Penguins and NHL are partnering together. We've seen Pudgy Penguins partner with an absolute slew of major brands out there. We will be collaborating with the NHL for the 2026 Discover NHL Winter Classic from December to January, starting this week at Art Week Miami. From giveaways to Pengu meeting NHL fans and more, these activations will bring Pengu into the world of the NHL. This is massive. The Winter Classics, I feel, are pushed way more in the NHL. I think people love that aspect. I think it's also a huge moment for these clips across socials where you might not be watching these games, but you'll sure as hell see across your various social timeline these winter events, whether outdoors. And now Pudgy Penguin's going to add something a little bit different to that. But that is going to do it for this edition of XFeed. I want to thank you so much for tuning on in. If you're wanting to have a little bit of a different conversation than what we're going, we do the RWA SegMints Podcast, where we're going to talk with some of the best and brightest minds within the space. The previous week, yesterday, we dropped an episode with John Lemon from the Doge Pound, working with a major IP out in Asia, getting into some AI things, but ultimately wanting to become one of the top dog brands in the world. So if you wanted to see how they're growing, what they're doing, the link's down in the YouTube description below, or if you happen to be following me on X, it's in my bio on there. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will catch you tomorrow. Peace.